got a plan for QB, Mike?
I'm sorry?
Do you have a plan for QB for the Jets game?
Quarterbacks, yeah, we're going to play the two young guys for the Jets game. Will be our focus.
Do you know who will go first? Who will go second?
Will Howard to go first.
Will you guys be bringing back the full complement of receivers? Do you guys expect DK and
I mean, we got a couple guys that are still coming back, on the medical part. We got 48 hours. I'll get all that stuff to Bert. Bert will get that to you here in the next 48 hours. Make sure you have everything. We're trying to get some work out of Bert.
What's the thought process behind just getting Will and Drew those meaningful reps?
Oh, I think you understand. They're young. Will didn't get to play last year. Drew's a first-year player. Have two veterans I feel really good about, obviously with Aaron and Mason. I saw what I needed to see from Mason last week. I've talked highly about Mason really since the spring, so I really want to max out the opportunities with both Will and Drew.
In terms of their reps, I mean, is it hard to evaluate? I mean, who Will's running with compared to who Drew will be running with?
Well, I mean, that's part of it. Yeah, no doubt. I think, who you play and how you play, that's all part of the evaluation. But I think that, we got two games here, and I want to see those guys play as much as possible, and we'll continue as we have all camp. You'll see it today, is try to keep working as many players with different combinations, because I want to come out of this with a lot of video, a high understanding of every one of these guys, and I want to give every player a chance to play in the game Friday night, and I want to give every guy a chance to make our 68-man our roster between the 53 and the practice squad.
The specifics of what you did see from Mason that made you feel comfortable, what were they? What did you see on the field that you might have seen as well during training?
Mason has great command of the offense. I mean, just pure on the field game day. He's very experienced. He's strong personality in the locker room. I really like this command, understanding the offense. He's been through a number of systems. He's been asked to do things differently for how we believe the quarterback position is played. He's done an excellent job.
Like Caleb Johnson hasn't had a ton of opportunities to run the football. Will he get more, and what do you need to see from him?
I hope so. If the guy calling the plays just would run the ball more, I think I'd help him out. So we'll just continue to work that way. But yeah, he'll play. He'll play. He'll play Friday night and then hopefully play a bunch up in Buffalo. We really want to focus on the younger part of our team and give these guys a chance to make our squad.
What has Eli Heidenreich shown you as far as
Sorry?
What has Eli Heidenreich shown you so far? I know he was out for some time.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing for me with Eli, he missed so much time with the injury, so it was good to see him get out there. And I just think he, hopefully with this, we had a little more rest than we anticipated, but hopefully he'll benefit from that, get his legs back the way they were before the injury. So I just want to see him take a step, get more comfortable, particularly in the run game. See the burst that he has shown on the practice field. So I'd like to see him get more opportunities.
And testing more of both Will and Drew, will they see like expanded parts of the playbook just to kind of further test them?
No, our playbook and the way we're approaching this game is more about what concepts our players are most comfortable with. We watch the Jets, their first preseason game, just have a general understanding of where they are in their install, but we're not putting a lot of energy into that. Because to be honest with you, it doesn't matter. I've always approached preseason this way. I really am not concerned with who the team is and what they're doing. I want to see our guys run the offense, especially the quarterbacks. When we install concepts, it's proactive adjustment. They have the tools to do what they need to do regardless of the defense. So, it's the same on defense. We want to get our guys lined up. We want to win the pre-snap. I want their eyes in the right place. We want to play better fundamentally, and we want to run and go get the football.
What did you want Will to work on the most after that first game, and where have you seen him perhaps improve even over?
I think Will has taken steps throughout camp. I just maybe get off to a little better start than he did last time, and really a couple of those plays weren't really his fault as far as what happened. But you got to react to negative situations. Preseason football is great for young quarterbacks on so many fronts. I mean, obviously they get to play. You want to see them command the offense, take the play entry, get up the line of scrimmage. If they get in trouble, they have a proactive reasoning to do with it. But also, if something goes wrong, if the route's not the way it should be, or doesn't happen, or the right tackle doesn't do the right thing, to be able to react to that and not be surprised by it. So, and I thought he did a good. He had 2 plays in the game where something went wrong, and he reacted accordingly, and throwing the ball away is a win. I mean, throwaways are, when something negative happens, you throw the ball away. 2nd and 10 is fine. We can deal with. Punting is good sometimes, in a game. So just playing with that discipline. So I thought he definitely improved in that area. I can't say he improved in there because that's the first game he played in. So there was a lot of little things like that were evident in both Will and Drew's play.
Drew Aller talked about that too after the game. There was play where
Sorry, who?
Drew Aller.
Drew Aller.
There was a play in the red zone where he said
you got to speak up. They're grinding over here with the ball drills. You see all those extra ball drills? All right.
But Drew Aller, he talked about a red zone rep where he sped up his feet, almost got out of the play, but was able to settle down and throw it away. How much do you value those moments versus more of the routine slants to show their thing?
No, actually, that's an excellent point because that's a real rep. That's going to happen in the game. There's 8 plays a game. Statistically, that a quarterback's going to have to move his feet, in a potential extended play. So the value of those reps are, to me, are priceless because you try to emulate it in practice. It's not real. It's not as close to the game as you probably would like. But to see those guys get those extended play reps, and they both had them. They both had. And Mason had a couple too. I mean, the one Mason had down in the red zone that was close to being a touchdown. I mean, those are great reps, and those are the ones that you take as a coach, and then you take your drills and put them right next to each other. And this is why we do this drill. So yes, those that's a great point. It's a great question, and I think we should end on it because that's a hell of a question to end on.
Mike, what have you seen?
I'm just worried about. Okay.
I couldn't hear you over it.
Yeah.
Grinding over it. What have you seen from Gabe Rubio? What stood out to you
Gabe?
from the game?
I'll tell you what, I'm sure. I think you get these rookies. You watch them go through the helmets and shells phase and through the off-season program, the mini camp. It's so hard on the offensive lineman and the defensive lineman. So you can see he was comfortable picking things up. But boy, when we put the pads on, I've been real impressed with how he's taken to the technique and the teaching and how he's applying it to the game. So I see him as a young guy, obviously with a lot to improve in, but I think he's really taken to the techniques that we're teaching here too. So I thought Gabe was off to a really good start.
Two more, guys. Two more.
Populous, Porter, and Ramsey.
Can you start over again?
Yeah, the 2 corners on the Populous,
Okay.
Porter, and Ramsey. Any concern about the amount of time they've missed when it comes to their readiness for week 1?
I wouldn't say concern. I just think it's being in tune with their progress. They're both making progress. I get the injury report, and then with that we have a GPS report. Those guys, their training is evaluated just like everybody else's training out here today. So they're both making progress. So I mean, it's when it comes to injuries or when it comes to things where a guy's not on the field, you trust the plan that's in place for them, and they're both making progress in those plans.
Mike, is there more? Last one. Is there more that you want to see from Roman Wilson in a game setting? Obviously, we've seen a lot from him in a practice setting.
Consistency, probably. I agree with you. With your question, he's shown a lot. I mean, I've been really impressed with Roman. I mean, he's had a heck of a spring. I mean, he showed that he could play the diversity of playing all 3 spots. So that that was a threshold for me to see him do that. And let's not forget, everybody talks to him about playing the slot and so forth, but boy, he's a hell of a player outside the numbers out there on the Autobahn. I mean, he's had some big time post routes for big plays, both in the spring and in in the group work and the combination work, and also in the teamwork in training camp. So I really like the camp that he's having. I feel like I could play games with Roman today.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.